Today, we have a really talented and amazing guest with us, Ms.Karman Kaur, also known as K. We welcome you here.
Thank you, Kavya, for such warm welcome.
Glad to have you. So, talking about your 365 days fitness and dance journey, who do you think inspired you or what led you to, you know, start shuffling or start working for your health?
Um, I think the very first time I saw Mary Grace, she's a very famous shuffler, and I saw one of her posts, and I was like, I want to be able to do this, and that is where it hit me. She's my biggest inspiration till date, and other than that, it was just I think they came like a calling that I have to work on myself now. I was trying to escape from the fact that I was actually getting unhealthy, and I had to realize that this is not right for my body. So I think that is when both things combined, my uh, calling for being a healthy person, plus the fact that I saw such an amazing artist on screen, and I've always wanted to do that. So I think that became one of my probably starting point to a journey like this.
So, did you start in the lockdown or before that?
Oh, I started in lockdown. I think around it April end. So like it had only already been like 2 months of lockdown, and I was just lazing around and doing nothing, and that's when it hit me. So I started working out in like April, May, and so I just completed 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that lockdown was the time when most of the people realized what wrong they've been doing, and many people have changed themselves as well in lockdown. You being an example right in front of us.
I think lockdown helped people realize what really mattered to them. For
Mhm.
somebody, it was connecting with families and friends. For somebody, it was finding what you believe in. For somebody, it was going back to an old hobby. For somebody, it was learning new skills. So I think for everybody, it was a very different experience, and you probably discovered a part of yourself which you had never discovered. And I think the free time that we got in lockdown that helped us to think about all of these things that what really matters to us and what is our passion. And I think in all that means that we really need to take out time for ourselves. Um, just like we got in the lockdown, even with a busy life, even with a stressful life, we do need to take out some time to reflect and introspect, so that we, in the end, we know where our heart really is.
Definitely, I definitely agree. But the main enemy which stops us from doing this is demotivation and laziness. So, like 365 days is a huge time, I know. And what
Yeah.
kept you going? Because demotivation is and negativity is all around you all the time. So, how did you cope up with that? And what tips would you want to give to the audience watching it to overcome demotivation and laziness?
So, I mean, I was demotivated all of the time because um, shuffling is not easy. It requires so much strength, and I used to dance for 2-3 hours, and my legs were paining a lot at night, and I used to be like, I can't do this anymore. And then I used to get up again after 2-3 hours and start dancing again. So I mean, the thrill of doing it, that kept me going. I just knew that I love this so much. I love doing this so much. When I was in the moment, I didn't care for the pain. I didn't care whether I was feeling lazy. But just the I am a very stubborn person, so I just wanted to learn it. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best version of myself. I'm not comparing myself to anybody, but I wanted to give my 100%. So I think that was what pushed me. I wanted to be the best, and I mean, of course, there were days when I felt very demotivated. I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is so tough, and oh, let's skip it today. Uh, and I used to do that. But by the end of the day, I used to be like, my goal was to learn X, Y, Z step, and I didn't do that today, and I used to feel very guilty about it. So I think the most important thing, be it anything, be it dance or be it your career, is to keep a clear inside of your goal, that at the end of the day you have to reach your goal in XYZ days, and every day that you don't work towards it means that you are missing out on a great opportunity, or even just not even an opportunity, you're missing out on making yourself feel very confident and happy. So I think I would suggest everyone to just look at the bigger picture and be confident with who you are and just work towards it. Work towards your goal every day without
Some,
doubting yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I feel people are too hard on themselves. They keep doing it every day, but don't give themselves enough credit for doing what they're doing. So it ends up in demotivation a lot. So it's really important that you give yourself rest days, give yourself enough credit of the hard work you're doing, especially in these tough times when there's negative thoughts from all over. It's really, really important that you give yourself
Yeah,
rest
exactly. I
days as
mean,
well.
yeah, exactly. I mean, take a break when you need it, when your body needs it. I mean, I used to push myself, but then there were days I I mean, I have made the same mistake. I pushed myself despite of an injury, and I ended up getting very hurt, and physically I had to take rest for another 10-15 days. So I mean, if your body is calling for it, take proper rest. But emotionally also, if you're exhausted, if you don't feel like doing it, then take a break, pause, reflect back, that probably catch up on other things, and you don't have to rush through the process. You can't do it if you just rush through it. You have to love the process, you have to enjoy the process. So even if that means taking a Sunday for your goal, you have to do it, right? You can't work 24/7. You're not a machine. So, I mean, breaks are really important, and talk to your friends, talk to your family, enjoy, do one activity which makes you feel good, which doesn't require your physical activity or probably your brain. So, eat ice cream, do anything that makes you feel very relaxed. So, I think that is very, very important.
So talking about work, so we also know that you're a lawyer. So how do you manage everything, your work, then creating content on Instagram, and then practicing whatever you've learned in the past? So how do you manage all that?
Honestly, it's very tough because I think when I started, within a month, I got a job, and I've been working ever since. So, I mean, there have been days when I haven't slept properly just because I was practicing at night. There have been days when I have missed XYZ functions, family functions, or probably meeting with friends just because I wanted to shoot some content for my page. So it's really been tough. I've missed out on sleep, and I've missed out on some important things also. But in the end, I know that this is the thing which matters to me the most. And I mean, I love creating content. I It's not for the it's not just because I want to be very regular on my page, or probably post things. It's just because I love doing it. I love putting out there what I actually feel, and if even one person is inspired by that, my work is done. I was also inspired by somebody, so if somebody is inspired by me, I think my job is done. And so I try to create a balance, which I often fail at miserably. It's hard, but yeah, it's just the fact that somebody out there will watch it and appreciate it for what it is. That's what keeps me going.
So do you think you lacked in self-love or self-care, or didn't give yourself enough, time? or do you think you give in yourself time as well and your work as well?
See, I've never compromised on my work, but yeah, in order to create content and take out time for my dancing and everything, I have probably, sometimes compromised on my self care and my sleep and everything, and which you shouldn't do. It's not healthy. But yeah, I am trying to create a balance every day. We are humans, we commit mistakes, and I'm trying to find a balance where all of this can work out for me. Because I'm just not ready to give up there. I can't give up on my job because I love doing that. I can't give up on my dancing because I love doing that. So I'm still working on it every day, trying to find a balance where I can, manage both, because both of the things are really close to me and they keep me really happy. And it's a learning process. I mean, 365 days of doing both the things, I've learned a lot of things, but doesn't mean I've become the perfect person. So it's a continuous journey and it's a learning process for me, even till date.
Yeah, definitely. This is balance is something everyone should learn, differentiating in your personal and professional life. It's hard, but eventually, as you get experienced, you do get a gist of it, how that works. So really
Yeah.
great about. Okay, so talking about fine arts, as you know, dance is also kind of an art. So how do you think has arts helped anyone during the lockdown time, during COVID times, when the situation is so stressful? So how do you think mentally and physically, how has it helped you and generally to people?
So I think for me, it was a stress buster. I mean, I found a way to release all my tension, especially during this stressful time when, uh, even last year when everything was so bad and so unfortunate. And I find a way out. I found my comfort zone that, I can, separate from the reality and just go in my dream world and do what I love to do. And I think it's been same with a lot of people. People have found their own ways to be creative and own ways uh, for their stress. They found their stress buster activities. And even if you see Instagram, there have been so many new artists that have been coming up just because of the reason that they have enough free time to introspect of what they really like to do and of what they really want to be probably. And some have made a career out of it um, since the last year. So I think that's a wonderful thing. Arts has really helped people cope with this situation. And it's amazing what art can do for you. I mean, no other job can do, not even money can do for you what art can do for you. It's an amazing stress buster. It helps you being creative. And I mean, that it has been a game changer for everybody, I think.
Definitely, like people are more skilled after the lockdown than they were before. Like a
Definitely,
self-discovery,
yeah.
we can say.
Yeah.
Very. And talking about content, like Instagram has been like so many new people coming on Instagram, and I feel people who are just watching and not creating content for them too. It's really great to see people, doing all these things because when everything is so stressful and you just take 5 minutes aside to just scroll through Instagram and you see people working so hard, it's something kind
Yeah.
of it motivates you from inside whatever you're going through. So like great work, whoever to you and even everyone who's doing it.
Thank you.
So now talking about the changing face of Indian arts, if we talk about few years from now, classical dance, folk dance, they were really popular. But now, as we see, people want to learn hip hop, jazz, and like you're a shuffler, so you know it. So, what do you think? How is it affected, and is it for the better, or how has it resulted?
I think it's definitely for the good. I mean, earlier people were only constructed to XYZ forms of art, which is fine, which is very nice since our heritage is very rich and our culture is very rich, and the kind of uh, dance forms and arts that we have, they are beautiful in their own way. But with the other art forms coming in, people have really found their way and made an expertise out of it. So, I mean, even for shuffling, it's a very niche community. I mean, before 2010, nobody knew about it. And then, it started growing in the West. Then it came to India. I mean, it's only been 2, 3 years. I honestly know uh, a number of shufflers. I can count them on my fingers who are present in India. So the community is very niche, and it's amazing how it's growing. People are loving it, and they really want to participate in it. And they really want to create a community, with hip hop, with jazz, and people are finding a lot of variations in that. So I think that's beautiful. Expanding an art form and learning it's beautiful. The process is beautiful, and you can't really restrict yourself to one art form if you live in a particular country. Of course, you have to respect it, and you it- have to appreciate it because it's in your culture. But then with the other art forms coming from even from the West, it's amazing. It's really it makes you happy to watch so many other people doing so many great things that you didn't even know about. So I think it's really nice for all the artists all over India.
Yeah. And come like the new dance forms or new forms have come, but people haven't forgotten the old ones. So it's obviously a better thing because they're adding on more and more, and which was
Yeah,
good to see.
exactly.
So with this, we come to an end for today's podcast. Thank you so much, Kate, for giving your valuable time to us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.